Hi everyone, I'm Angie with the Painted Feather, and I am live here on the Dixie Belle paint page. It is 6 p.m. on the West Coast where I'm located in California, and I am an elite retailer of Dixie Belle paint, and you can find Dixie Belle paint at Whistle Stop Antiques locally with me, or at Ray's Trading Company out in Sebastopol. So Whistle Stop is in Santa Rosa. That's where I'm at. And as you arrive here tonight, there's an airplane flying overhead. You can hear that outside my workshop. If you can hear that and you are watching, let me know where you are watching from today. Hello, Georgia from England. Welcome. So we are going to be working on this. I don't know if you can see the lines on this little table. Hi, Mon, how are you? But this is a mid-century modern little side table. See the tapered legs on that? Hi, Donna. And hi, Jen, how are you doing? You caught me live. So I'm gonna do a fun little retro style thing. 2 a.m. Georgia, you're up late. Do you have allergies like I do? Hi, Myra from Costa Rica. Hello from Travis Air Force Base. Hey, Deb, how are you doing from Pennsylvania? Thank you, Sprinkled. Are you sharing my video? I appreciate it. Hi, TJ. Okay, so like I said, I'm an elite, I am tongue-tied today, you guys. I'm an elite retailer of Dixie Belle paint, and I'm in California. Hey, Dixie Belle, how are you doing? So let's get into it. All right, you're not here to listen to me talk about where I'm at. You're here to see some paint. So what I've done, oh good, glad you're good, Jen. So we have this little mid-century side table, and Dixie Belle wants to know where you're at, everybody, so let them know. And hi, Teresa. And we are gonna paint this thing up with some chevron stripes tonight. I'm gonna show you how to do that. I look cute. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate it. So here's what I've done so far. I like to do my prep. I'm a good prepper. So I cleaned this little table with White Lightning Cleaner. That's a granular formula that you put in water. You can fill a 16-ounce bottle, like, gosh, a bunch of times with this, with the White Lightning Cleaner, like 16 times. So hello, Central California. Hi, Dan. And so buy the White Lightning Cleaner. It will last you like forever. And then, so I cleaned it and then I sanded it pretty well because it was kind of a mess. Hi, Donna from Michigan. Woohoo, I got a woohoo from Donna. Okay, so do your prep on your pieces. Do a little scuff sanding, and especially with this, I did the silk paint. You want to do a little scuff sand on your piece before you do the silk paint, okay? Any paint, really. So just give it a little scuff sand. And so I've done that, and then I have 2 coats of Hampton olive on this piece. Hello from Australia. Hi, Amber. So 2 coats of Hampton olive, and then I'm going to tell you what I've done to prepare to paint some chevron stripes on this. Hi, Greg and Debbie from Central California. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to get up here a little closer. I pull my table in. So I have gone and I've marked some lines on my table. I'm going to show you how I did that in case you don't know. It's not that difficult. But I found the center point of my table by, okay, tape measure. I measured, it's 27, so 13.5 to the center, okay? And then I measured this way, okay, 12, so 6 to the center. So I've got my center point right there. I put a little dot right there, okay? Isn't Hampton Olive awesome, Deb? I love this color too. I've been wanting to do something else in this color. So Canada in the house. Hi, Tammy, how are you doing? Okay, so then I drew a line across this because I'm going to be putting chevron stripes on this. Let me see if I can get the light a little better for you all here. Okay, is that a little better? It's hard to tell with the shadows outside. So I drew a straight line here because I want my stripes to come out from this line, okay? And then in addition to that, I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to get lines that are equal on both sides, because you don't want to have lines that are not equal. So I then went and I got my tape measure. How difficult is the white lightning? Hold on, I'm looking at a message here. How difficult is the white lightning to work with? Oh my gosh, it's so easy, Dan. It's like you put it in a spray bottle, you squirt it on your piece, and then you wipe your piece down. It will degloss it. It will clean all of the stuff that you don't want on your piece of furniture off. It will prepare it for the paint and get all the oils and all the things, the undesirable things on your project right off of it. So yeah, super easy to use. Spray it on, wipe it off. Okay, and then a little scuff sand and then wipe it off again. So I went with my tape here and I measured and I marked each little, each inch on the side of my table, okay? So that when I am taping, I can mark these equally because I don't want to have uneven stripes. I'm going to show you another way to do that, but that is what I did already, okay? So cleaned it, scuff sanded it, put Hampton olive 2 coats on here, and then we are going to start taping it off. So let me show you what I have here. Doesn't really matter the type of tape that we're going to use, because I'm going to show you a trick to get really nice clean lines no matter what tape you use. So I'm going to go ahead and start, and I'm going to start with this thin blue painter's tape, okay? And if you guys have questions for me, please feel free to ask. If I don't see it, I'll circle back around and I'll answer later. So I want to create a stripe. Let me see if I can get you up a little higher so you can see what I'm doing here. So, okay. All right, let's get you up a little higher. Let me pull this back a little bit. So this is a mid-century modern table, and with mid-century modern, you want to be careful with what you do, because the people that purchase mid-century modern furniture are very particular about the colors and the style. And going with these really nice retro patterns is a good idea. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to take, I want to have a nice triangle right at the top. So I am going to put my tape right at the top, and then I'm going to come over and I'm going to find a marker right over on the side of my table. Can you guys see this okay? And I'm going to go ahead and lay my tape down. And this is a nice thin piece of tape. And so there's 2 ways that I can accomplish getting a nice even spacing, but I'll show you that in a minute. So I'm going to use my second piece of tape here. And we're going to lay it down in the same way. So I'm going to go over and see 1, 2, 3. So it's 4 inches down. Line it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lay it down and just line it up the same way on both sides. Okay, now I'm going to get my scissors and cut this tape, because I'm not going over the edge with it. I'm just doing it on the top. If you want to go over the edge with it, you can. Just going to get a nice clean cut here. I'm going to cut this off. Doesn't really matter actually if I'm keeping the tape on top, but you know, and not going over. But now I've just got a nice even line for both sides here, okay? And then I'm going to continue. I think I'm going to do my large tape next, okay? How are we doing out there? So The way to get an even spacing between what I've already done and what I'm about to do is I'm going to use a piece of tape. And you can use one long strip or you can use a few. I'm just going to do 3 little pieces on each side. Okay. So I'm doing 3 on each side, and then I'm going to line up my next piece. And then I'm going to pull these off. So you could use a whole long strip, but I don't want to waste that tape. So I'm just going to use these little pieces, and I'm going to give myself spacing for my next line, for my next piece of tape. And I'm going to go with the larger piece here. So find the center, got my center point drawn out. And I'm going to lay down my next piece of tape, and it's going to be equal. I'm just going to rip this one. Line it up. If I don't see your questions, because I'm concentrating on getting straight lines here, I will circle back later and answer you. Okay, so we've got our second line, a little bit larger line there. Okay, now I'm going to do, so now I'm going to pick up these little lines, or these little pieces. I'm going to do it again. Okay, we're going to have nice, even, pretty chevron stripes. Okay, so I've got that, and that's nice and even there. So you're going to keep using the same pieces of tape. So just pull them from here, or you could just line it up on the lines that we have going down the side. So either way will work. This is just kind of a way to get really straight lines. You can do this just with stripes as well. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with a thinner line this time. So let me find my tape. Okay, so I'm going to go with a thinner piece of tape this time. So come up to your center point, line it up on the tape pieces you put down, and then tear it. And we're going to do that again this way. And if you want to be super exact, you can get an X-Acto knife and cut your tape. But we're getting it down nice and straight here. So I see a little spot here where I'm gonna need to, here, I'm just gonna bend it back so that it's nice and straight. There we go. Okay, how's it going out there, everybody? Okay, hopefully you guys can see this okay. Okay, now I still have my lines here. Now I think I want to go for actually a really thin line. So I'm going to pull these up. I'm going to just set them on the side of my table here so that I can use them again if I want to. But I'm just going to, this time, line up a really thin line. And this is easy because when you can see the line next to it, it's not going to be difficult to get a real straight line. So if you want to be fussy about it, you can measure it, but I'm just going to eyeball it and make a real thin line here. Lay it down, tear it, and then I'm gonna go in with another one. That piece of tape is not gonna be long enough. Okay, we're gonna go up to this line, And try to get right on your center point. I'm missing the mark a little bit here, so I'm going to go up a bit. Okay. Takes a little concentration, but okay, there we go. Just going to lay this down. All right, how's it going out there? Let's see. So we've got, oops, my line's a little bit off. So it's kind of easy to see, thankfully, with this tape. Okay. Just want to make sure that on the bottom, it's like the top here. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to use these again and make another line. So thanks for hanging in with me. Do this. And you can do as many lines as you want. You can do them irregularly. You can do even stripes. I kind of like irregular patterns, so I'm kind of doing irregular stripes tonight. Okay, let's do, I think I'm going to do the larger stripe here. So we're going to have the Hampton olive. I'm going to do fluff. I'm going to do caviar, and then I'm going to use gold gilding wax tonight. Okay, so let me tear a piece and line it up here. Got our tape, and actually I'm going to get my scissors and cut here. And then one more stripe. Okay, line it up on my tape. Cut it. Okay, now I'm just going to step back and look at, I have to add a little bit of tape right here. I'm just missing a little piece. I'm just going to look at if everything is in alignment, and I'm going to add just a little bit of tape where I pulled it apart in the middle. There's a couple spots that I need to just get to be the point that I want in the center here. I have mosquitoes flying around me. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to pull these little guys off here. And we are ready for the next step. Okay, so see how that's looking there? So we've got all these different stripes. I think I'm going to do the gold on this one, just a real thin amount of gold. So I'm going to plan out. So it's going to be mostly black. And of course, underneath the tape, it's going to be the olive. Now I'm going to show you how to get the lines to not have bleed and to not have kind of a jaggedy edge on your tape lines. And the way we're going to accomplish that is I'm going to use satin clear coat to put on so that so that we can get really, really clean lines. You could use whatever your base color of your paint is, but in this instance I used Hampton olive and I used the silk line, and that takes a little bit longer to dry. So I want to get I want the clear coat to work for me, and that way we can get it to dry a little bit faster. The Hampton olive, you want to wait a couple hours between coats. So I'm going to use clear coat so that we can just put a heat gun on it and get on to the next step. Okay, so make sure all my tape is down nice and good. Just gonna go ahead and cut these edges off. And then we will put some clear coat on here. Okay, so you can apply the clear coat with like a detail brush, or if you want to do it with a sponge, you can do that. I'm gonna put it on with a detail brush, and then I'm gonna go over it with the sponge, and I'm using the satin clear coat. So I'm gonna just use this little detail brush. Okay, so here we go. So just go over the edge of the tape, and so anything that would bleed under that tape is not going to, because our clear coat is going under there. But you just want a nice smooth line so that it doesn't have a lip on it. So I'm just gonna get a little bit on there, nice smooth line. And then I'm even going to take my blue sponge by Dixie Belle and smooth it out, because I do not want it to be lipped up on me. I've got that sponge just a little bit damp. All right. How are you guys doing? You're quiet tonight. I know that I'm concentrating, so you're probably not saying a whole lot out there. I see there's people on here. Okay, I'm gonna see if I don't think my feed is working here, so hold on a second. Oh, okay, I just wasn't seeing the feed, so, okay. Hold on. I'm gonna get to where it is. It just wasn't moving, so I didn't see anything. Hold on a second here, everybody. It's a bunch of people watching. This is good, okay. Trying to get to where, okay, missed a few minutes. All right, there we go. Okay, now it's gonna, sometimes if you go back and look at questions, you don't see the feed continuing to go, and then I didn't think anybody was saying anything, but I think you guys were saying stuff, I just didn't know. Okay, so my blue sponge, I'm just smoothing out my clear coat. So we're gonna put clear coat everywhere that the paint might go under, but it's not going to, because our clear coat's gonna go under there. And then I'm going to seal this with a satin clear coat, so all will be good in the world once I put that on, so I won't have a difference between like the finish with the silk paint and with the clear coat. But the silk paint does have kind of a satin finish anyway. Probably would look just fine. Okay, smooth it out. So let's put this on here. If you get it all over the paint that is laid down already, that's totally fine too, but because we're gonna smooth it out, and then like I said, we're gonna clear coat anyway over the whole thing after. So, but just cover any little, all those little spaces under the tape where the paint could bleed under and not give you a real pretty line. That's what we're gonna fix right now. So any of those gaps that might be there are gonna get filled with clear coat. And you could, like I said, you could do this with whatever color paint is already down, but since the dry time on the Hampton Olive is a little bit more, I'm not gonna do that because then we'd be waiting forever. So we'll just do this. Okay, got my clear coat. I'm gonna smooth it out. There we go. You can apply the satin clear coat with this blue sponge if you want also. I do that most of the time. Okay, but we're just going along the edge of the tape right now. Seeing if I see anything there. Okay. if you're local or if you're a retailer of Dixie Belle, let everybody know you're watching and let us know where you're at. If you need to find a Dixie Belle retailer, you can go to dixiebellepaint.com and click on the thing that says find a local retailer. It'll ask for your zip code, and then it will pop up a bunch of people in your area that sell Dixie Belle paint. If you don't have one, you can click on that link in the description of this video and get Dixie Belle delivered right to you, right where you're at right now. And then you can be painting very soon. Okay, so I've just got one more line here to do. And when you smooth it out with that sponge, it's going to dry really fast because you're removing any excess too. So pull it off, remove any excess, and smooth it out. It's going to be pretty dry already, but I'm going to take my little blue sponge. I'm going to throw it in a plastic baggie here because I don't want my blue sponge to be ruined by my silk or by my satin clear coat. So I'm just going to put a little water in there with it. I'm going to do the same thing with my little art brush here. So we'll just throw it in this baggie and it'll be fine when I go wash it later. So, okay. My top on my satin so I don't knock it over, because that happens sometimes. And now I'm just going to take the heat gun to my clear coat and then we can get on with the next step. So here we go. This will just be a minute. How are we doing out there in the world, everybody? This is pretty dry already. Don't hold the heat gun too close and in the same spot. This is just an inexpensive one. Works great. Okay, that's probably fine. That is probably fine because I barely have any on there. Do I hear chirping? I am out in my backyard and I back to a creek and there are lots of birds out here. And tonight there's lots of mosquitoes out here too. They are attacking me right now. So I'm sacrificing myself for all of you right now to teach you this tutorial while the mosquitoes are going at me. But that's okay. All right, so I'm going to use caviar paint. You must be somewhere warm. Yes, it is warm. I'm in California, Tara. So, and it was like 80 degrees today. It was very nice today. So I'm enjoying the warm weather. Okay, so I've got my caviar paint. I have my fluff paint in white. Hi, Linda. How are you? And then I have gold gilding wax. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna use mostly black, and then I'm gonna use probably one stripe of white fluff, and I'm gonna probably do one stripe of the gold. It must be warm. Yes, it is warm where I'm at. It's so nice today. Sorry if it's not nice where you're at. We have our share of goofy weather here. So, okay, let's go. Okay, here's my plan. This stripe, this really thin stripe, mosquito, is going to be gold. And then let's see, which one do I want to do white? I think I'll do white, the fluff up here, and then I think I'll do black, 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 and I think I'll do black even above that. Okay, I think that's my plan. All right, so plan out what you're gonna do. We already have our satin clear coat down so that hopefully we get nice, really pretty stripes that don't have bleed. And yeah, let's do this. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my caviar paint. So actually I'm gonna do caviar up here. And I'm not going over the edge. I haven't decided what I'm doing on the edge yet, so I'll decide that after. But right now I'm just gonna do the very top of this table. And I do have my little misting spray bottle here. I'm just gonna mist my brush. And this is the mini angle brush, my favorite brush. One of my locations where I sell paint, they call it the Angie brush because I tell everybody they need one. Okay, so putting it on, smoothing it out. Okay, and then a little more. And so I'm covering up all those little marks that I put on the table here. I probably will go around the edge, maybe with the caviar, but we'll just do this for now, and then I'll decide. You don't have to have a perfect plan in place when you start painting something. Just start working on it. I change my mind midstream a lot of the time, so. So there's the first part of caviar on here. And like I said, I'm gonna do this one white. So I'm gonna go caviar here, caviar here, caviar here. I want it to be a lot of the caviar because I think it looks really cool. You can mist it. Just going right up to this edge, smooth it out. The misting spray bottle, if you don't have one, is a super game changer for this chalk mineral paint. You don't want to use it with the silk paint, but you definitely want to use it with the chalk mineral paint. And what it does is it just thins it out, makes it go on super smooth, really helps with brush strokes, and just it kind of extends your paint a bit. And then you're not fighting with the paint to get it on your surface. It'll just smooth out and do what it's supposed to do. So get a misting spray bottle if you do not have one, because it will change your painting life. But like I said, don't use it with silk. You don't want to use it with the silk, but with the chalk mineral paint, you definitely want to use it. You could either do that or just keep your brush damp, or keep a little cup of water next to you if you don't have a misting spray bottle. But when you get the opportunity, get a misting spray bottle. Okay, so this one's gonna be gold, so I'm gonna go black here. Don't get your brush too damp. I just got it a little too damp. I'm just gonna add a little paint because it's a little too thin here. And just stay in your lines. Okay. I know I'm not very interactive tonight, so I get to be here with you guys every Monday night at 6 p.m. West Coast and 9 p.m. on the East Coast, and various times throughout the world, wherever you're watching from, but same time every week. So if you want to see what I do, you can follow me at the Painted Feather by Angie. I put the link in the description of this video, and I will post photos of this table when it's all done so you can see how cool it turned out. I love these retro styles. Now with the mid-century modern, I typically will just do a lot of like the wood tone, or I'll do greens, grays, blacks, navy, white, maybe a little orange. That's about it. I don't really venture out too far with the mid-century stuff. And if I can, I just treat it with Big Mama's butter and put some caviar paint on it and call it a day, because the mid-century stuff is super cool and very simple. And the people that purchase that, the mid-century items, are kind of purists, so you don't want to go too crazy on the mid-century stuff. So that being said, you do you. If you have something and it's your piece and you want to do it, obviously do whatever you're gonna do to it, and it's all good. But I'm an antique dealer, so I know that if I'm selling a piece, there's just certain styles you want to stick with and certain paint colors you want to stick with for the mid-century stuff. Okay, we've got our caviar on. I may hit it a little bit more in just a moment here, but I'm gonna move on with fluff. And I'm gonna do this stripe in fluff, and I'm just using my round, small Dixie Belle synthetic brush. I'm gonna bang my paint to get it open a little bit. Happens sometimes. And let's see how our coverage does for fluff on here. Okay, not bad. Just got my brush a little bit damp. Now the silk paint, the reason I use silk, in addition to the fact that I wanted to use Hampton Olive and because it's a beautiful color, is that the silk has a built-in stain blocking primer. And I knew that I could use that and then I wouldn't have to prime my piece so that I won't get bleed on my white. So I did that yesterday. So I gave it 24 hours to soak up any tannins from the wood that would potentially bleed through. This piece probably is a bit of a bleeder, but I'm not that worried about it because I have my silk paint on, which is gonna absorb all those tannins, so we are good. Okay, so we're getting our white on here. And this is fluff. The coverage with fluff is usually pretty good as far as the whites go, so a little funny thing on there, so I'm just wiping it off. Okay. And now I'm going to do, that coverage actually is really good, so I don't know if I'm gonna need to do another coat or not. Usually I'll do 2 coats, but this is actually looking really good. It's laying down very nice over the silk paint. So I think we might be okay. And now I'm going to do, for the gold, I'm using the gilding wax. And the gilding wax goes on so nice. And I'm gonna use just a little wax brush. So come over here so maybe I can see you guys. Okay. Okay. Hi everybody. Would you use silk paint on a mahogany bed to block tannins? Mahogany is tough. You still might want to use Boss before the silk. I would probably do 2 coats of blocks, which Boss is a product by Dixie Belle that blocks odors and stops stains. So I would probably do 2 coats of Boss on mahogany because mahogany is a very bad bleeder. So there's some things that just you want to do extra with to get it to be protected. So yeah, I would probably still use Boss and let it sit for 24 hours and then do the silk. And then you'll have kind of double layer of protection with your mahogany. And depending on what color you're doing too, if you're doing a dark color, it's not as much of an issue, but if you're going from a mahogany to like a white, I would definitely do a stain blocking primer. Okay, so look at, we're doing, oh, you're welcome. Okay, yeah, use some Boss. And if you're going white or a light color, or you can use Boss in gray, or you can use the white. If you're going from mahogany to like a light color, the white or the gray is what you want to do, not the clear, unless you're going to distress it back, and then you'll want to use the clear. But okay, we're doing our gold now. So see how vibrant the gold is here? We're putting, I'm just doing this with my a little wax brush. Okay, so this is just a little wax brush. Leopard spots and polka dots, LSPD, I like it. Awesome. Are you a retailer, LSPD? Okay, you just like to paint. So this gilding wax is such an awesome product. If you haven't used gilding wax, you need to get some gilding wax. It's just so much fun and just makes everything kind of pop. Okay, I'm thinking that the coverage is really good already, so I'm not going to worry about doing a second coat. And before our paint dries, we're going to pull up this tape so that we don't get tape or paint pulling off. So hold on a second, I'm just getting my brushes in order so that I don't dry out my good Dixie Belle brushes here. Okay, and then we're going to get to the fun part where we pull off our tape, and then it's gonna look cute. Okay, so we'll see how the clear coat did. I'm just putting my brushes in a plastic bag so that I don't have a problem with them drying out. All right, let's pull off this tape and see how I did, all right? This is the moment of truth. All right, oh, let me see if I can get you guys a little closer here. Pull you closer, and hold on, pull you down here. All right, is that a good angle? Yeah. All right, here we go. That's a clean line. Okay, we got one down. All right, it's another clean line. I think this is going to be good, everybody. Let's see what time we're at. We're at 6:42. Okay. Another clean line. I don't have any bleed. It's looking good. See that? Okay, we've got that. Let me pull off. I have tape sticking to my knees. Okay, that's pretty good. If I do have any little spots, I can go touch them up with an art brush. Here's my pretty gold line. Oh, that's nice. Okay, pretty gold line, and then got this large piece here. Oh, that looks so cool. All right, can you guys see this? Let me come over here and get where you guys are. All right, there it is. So we've got our really pretty gold line here. We've got our white, that looks really cool. And then we've got our nice chevron pattern, and it's all equal. I think it looks really good. What do you guys think? You want to try to do a chevron style table? I think it's good. I could even go and do a little bit more gold. Oh, you're welcome, Rachel. I may go and do a gold line right on the edge of that. And maybe actually a gold line on the edge of my white, but you know, that's not too difficult. Thank you, Donna. But I'm really loving these colors together, the Hampton olive with the caviar and the fluff, and then just a little touch of gold. I think it looks good. Thank you, Magdalena. How are you? So, what was the clear coat? The clear coat was satin clear coat, but you could use any clear coat. Thank you, Shirley. Yeah, this is pretty good, right? Isn't the gold good, Donna? I love that. So it's kind of military kind of colors too. It looks good. Yeah, it came out good. So don't be afraid to try some stripes. You just have to set it up and draw your line. I'll go and I'll either paint over that. I have a center point here, or I can erase that off. There's a couple little spots that I might have missed the clear coat on here, but I can fix that. But overall, it came out really, really good. So thank you guys for watching. Hi, Magdalena. So thanks for watching this tutorial. If you liked it, give me a heart. Share this video if you liked it. And let me know if you need anything. Thank you, Myra. You learned a lot. Awesome. Thanks for having me on here, Dixie Belle Paint. I will see you all next Monday. I'm on Chalk Paint 101. A little more gold would be nice. I agree, Magdalena. I'll probably go in here and put a little bit more gold as well. So what is the base color? The base color is Hampton Olive by in the silk line. Yeah, this is pretty good. I think we did a good job tonight. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Go to the Painted Feather by Angie and like and follow my page, and get some Dixie Belle paint. You can paint all sorts of really, really cool things. You have a pub table, want to do a checkerboard on. Yeah, it will totally help for the checkerboard. And Dixie Belle is coming out with a Harlequin design too that will make it super easy as far as like a stencil. So you can do that. Thank you, Cindy. What do you use to clean furniture? White Lightning Cleaner by Dixie Belle. It is the bomb. Thank you, Dixie Belle. All right, everyone. If you have any more questions, feel free to send them my way. I will circle back and answer anything that I missed. Thank you, Magdalena, for sharing my video. Thank you, guys. And I will see you all next week. And I'm on Chalk Paint 101 tomorrow at 1 p.m. on the West Coast or 4 p.m. on the East Coast. All right, guys. I will see y'all soon. Take care.